Well, guys, you've seen our top 10 worst films of 2019, but now it is time to talk about the things that we absolutely loved with film this year. It is time for us to share with you guys our top 10 favorite movies of 2019. I've said this every year, but these are the films that gave us, to put simply, cinegasms. They're the ones that exhilarated us, they moved us the most replay value of all of them. Now, Lucas has been going first with the worst. Now we move it on to Alex start off with our best. So do you have any honorable mentions, my good sir?
I have 10.
Go for it.
All right. Here we go. Starting off with The Irishman.
Okay.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
That's one of mine, actually.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Wow.
Shazam.
Nice.
Jojo Rabbit. The Lighthouse.
Oh.
Us.
Okay.
Missing Link. Good Boys.
Nice.
And Ford versus Ferrari.
All right, my honorable mentions. Joe, you're gonna hate me because one of them mine is in your worst stuff. Oh. All right, honorable mentions, no particular order. Knives Out, Spider-Man Far From Home. I know. Ford v Ferrari, The Fanatic, How to Train Your Dragon 3, John Wick Chapter 3. I know. Toy Story 4, Shazam, Us, and then finally this is the one that just missed my list. Frozen 2.
I actually have a very good amount of them, so here we go.
All right.
I'm going to go Rise of Skywalker.
Wow.
Guilty Pleasure, my Guilty Pleasure of the year, Lady the Tramp. The Room of the Year, The Fanatic. Hustlers.
Oh, okay.
Rocket Man. El Camino, The Breaking Bad Story. Rocco's Modern Life, Static Cling.
What?
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Did you?
All right.
Crawl. Toy Story
Crawl.
4. And then the last two just barely missed the list. The Peanut Butter Falcon and Ford versus Ferrari.
Anyways, honorable mentions. So let's get into our favorite movies of the year. And by the way, a couple disclaimers before we do go on. These are our personal favorite picks. These are not the technically best films of the year. These are the ones that we connected with the most. And of course, we don't see every single movie that comes out.
We can't.
Every year. That'd be impossible.
We don't have time to see everything.
But with that being said, let's get into a fun time talking about the movies that we love the most. Let's get it on. Number 10. Alex, get it on.
All right, my number 10 is, in my opinion, the best animated film of the year, and that is Toy Story 4.
Okay.
No surprise.
No surprise at all
great
whatsoever.
movie.
Yeah, this film was absolutely beautiful. It picked up right where it left off.
Correct.
From
Yes.
3.
3.
And the addition of Forky.
Oh my god.
I love Forky.
Forky was
Trash.
great.
I'm trash.
I'm trying.
I love trash. Trash. And that scene, oh,
Was
chills.
it just as good as Tim Allen said it was when like you were gonna be like ugly crying?
I could say that.
At the end, there's one scene. It's like, no, go, do it.
Do
your
what
thing.
you gotta do. Animation was great. The Return of Bo Peep was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And
Reeves.
simply, oh yes,
Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom. Simply put, Toy Story 4 is my number 10.
All right, my number 10 is the only film on this list I did not do a review for, only because I was short on time. I saw this recently. Uncut Gems is my number 10.
Oh, the Adam
Yes,
Sandler.
this
Number
film,
10.
was so good. I love A24. I think I'm the only one here that defends them to my dying breath, essentially, because I love Hereditary, I love The Witch. You love A24 as well?
They created Moonlight.
Good point. The Safdie brothers did such a phenomenal job directing it. Now, I'm an anxious person in general. How they edited and directed this movie took my anxiety up to 11. I saw this on Christmas night, okay?
Wow.
I was exhausted throughout the entire day, but the moment it started, it woke me right up. Adam Sandler, by the way, deserves an Oscar nomination from
Well,
this.
he is going to get.
Oh,
Absolutely.
he's so good in this. One can argue that when he does crap, he does crap. There's no denying that. But when he gets good material, he is excellent, to say the least. And this is definitely one of those films that shows you, hey, Adam Sandler's a great actor. Just trust when he gets the great material.
Yeah.
And not to mention,
Exactly.
he plays a character that even though he's a scumbag, you sympathize with him nonetheless. The music is amazing.
What about the intro and outro where they're going?
That was
through-
so trippy.
Wow.
Oh my, that was trippy as all hell. And the ending, like the ending scene, I did not see that coming at all. Uncut Gems, man, what a movie that was. This was my 11th 5 out of 5 of the year, and it makes my number 10. Sorry, Frozen 2 just kicked off for Uncut Gems.
I know that this one over here
Mm-hmm.
didn't like this movie,
Okay.
but I did.
Okay.
You and I went to go see this. Okay, it's Aladdin.
Really?
Yeah, well, again, I didn't see a lot of movies this
Okay.
year, so
Oh,
I had to
it
put
was
it as my
fun.
number 10.
Was it
Look,
fun?
I like this better than the animated version.
Wow.
And I told you this.
Oh,
I
wow.
told you this.
It was
I
out
s-
in IMAX, so.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get that pic.
I'm gonna,
By the
I'm
way,
gonna
guys.
Walk away for just a bit. I'm gonna walk away for just a bit.
But
Take a
He's
look right
sitting
here
off
for this.
camera, guys. I'm not even kidding. He's
That was
literally
good.
sitting off camera.
By the way, we have a picture of Lucas that we use as a meme now
Yeah,
on
that
our
was it.
messages. That was it right
That
there.
was it?
I like this Aladdin a lot better. This Aladdin was not.
Okay.
This Aladdin was a lot more enjoyable to watch. I like Jasmine. I thought like Jasmine was a lot stronger.
Naomi Scott was awesome.
Yeah, she was a lot stronger.
Will
in
Smith
this
as the
one.
genie killed it.
Yeah, I will even say it's better than the Robin Williams one. Yeah, I will say that. I thought Jafar was a lot better.
I wish you guys could see this
Get
right now.
off
This is
the
hilarious.
floor.
Here, I'll take a pic. I'll take video as we're doing this. So I
The
like
side
Jafar.
shot.
I like Jafar because he wasn't so campy in this one as well.
He was
actually
evil.
no, he was vicious.
Jafar
I liked
was
it.
terrible in
Yeah,
this.
no, I mean, A Whole New World I thought was a lot.
I
better.
loved Whole New World. In
I
this
like that
one.
version better.
Mhm.
So I just overall it was just a better version of it.
Okay, Lucas, get your ass in the seat again.
All right, I'm sending you that video.
Please.
But getting into my number 10, my number 10 is the best whodunit crime-solving thriller I've seen in a
Yeah.
while. Knives Out.
That was a great movie.
Right.
I
Ryan
absolutely
Johnson for
love
the
this
win.
movie. This is some of the best crime scene, like whodunit kind of movies I've seen in a while. And this twist that happened in this movie, they explain
my
themselves
God.
so well. Ryan Johnson did a
Ryan
perfect
Johnson.
job. Ryan Johnson did a perfect job in this movie. The acting was great. Everyone in this movie was excellent. Even Daniel Craig, where people are like, oh, Daniel Craig's accent wasn't that good. I'm like,
It worked.
it worked. I really dug what happened in Knives Out. And this story is a really good story. You can't go wrong with Knives Out. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat throughout the whole thing. And you don't know who did it. You won't know who did it until the very end. And when you just hit you, it'll be like, holy shit. But yeah, that's why Knives Out is my number 10.
All right, my number nine is the first movie this year I gave a 5 out of 5 to,
Oh,
and that is Fighting with My Family.
nice.
This film is about the wrestler Paige,
Mm-hmm.
and her story, and with her and her brother
Correct.
trying to make it to the WWE
Yep.
training stages, trying to cut promos and how she was like bullied and everything by
Yes.
the audience and her coworkers because she was an outcast basically.
And her trainer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn,
Oh, he was terrific in this.
phenomenal in
Yes,
this film.
Florence Pugh, neither, because
Yeah.
I love to see her nominated from this.
She was great in this, absolutely.
It's her year, sir.
And- And it's based on a true story,
It-
and it basically got it like to the T, especially at the end.
from what I heard, there were a couple of inaccuracies, but otherwise, yeah.
But at the end, it was perfect.
Oh, I was, God, tears.
Made you want to watch wrestling again, didn't you?
I'll talk about it in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it was a great film altogether. So, Fighting with My Family is my number 9.
My number 9, I believe one of you mentioned this honorable mentions. Jojo Rabbit's my number 9.
I did.
Man, Jojo Rabbit is such a phenomenal film. So, in this day and age, this movie, unless if it was made by the right filmmaker, this would never get made. Knowing how it deals with Nazis, World War II, and how it deals with a main character that it wants to be part of Hitler's regime. But Taika Waititi essentially channels his inner Mel Brooks and Wes Anderson and puts a little of his own spin on it.
I thought this was Wes Anderson.
It felt like Wes Anderson, right? And the humor of this movie, my God. I couldn't get enough of Taika messing with the Nazis and basically talking shit about, the Nazi Germany regime. And seeing him play as Taylor is one of the funniest things I saw all year. The best thing is that, unlike other comedies, though, they have that structure where the first 2 acts are hilarious and the third act has that downward spiral and all that. Jojo Rabbit never felt like that to me.
That
It
one storyline.
yeah,
it's like-
it never felt like that way where it felt like it goes. It was, I don't know how Taika did it, but he beautifully implements that third act without even you noticing it. Michael Giacchino's score is amazing, but the best about this movie wasn't about the relationship between the boy and Taika Waititi. It was the relationship that the boy has with the Jewish girl played by Mackenzie Davis, who is incredible in this movie. Lucas, I'll mention it. ScarJo is amazing in this movie as well, just to get you off my ass about it.
That's another poster he's gonna. put
Yes.
Sorry, John.
This is a movie that if it were done by any other director, it wouldn't have worked, but Taika just perfectly. It's a movie that's not only hilarious, but it's so surprisingly heartfelt and heartbreaking at the end. Well done, Taika. Seriously, well done. My number 9.
This one is not the best of this particular director's movies, but it's still good nonetheless. And unfortunately, it's winning Best Picture for this year. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wow, I thought this was gonna be way higher on your list.
Well, no. We had to talk about this.
Yeah,
Like, it was enjoyable, but like you said, anybody could have directed it.
Yeah,
I mean, it was good. I mean, Brad Pitt is obviously top notch.
he's the best part about it.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, but he's probably getting that Best Supporting Actor slot. Tarantino's probably going to get that director slot.
You think?
Oh no, definitely. While this movie was good, and I wouldn't necessarily call it his greatest movie, but
Neither
it was
would I,
good.
no.
Hollywood to its core. I mean, it goes back to the whole Sharon Tate thing and the whole
Yeah.
Hollywood murders and everything. I mean, there's a whole podcast series you can listen to on that. It's like crazy, but that while the movie doesn't do that much justice, I mean, it's entertaining for Tarantino's sake, but
Right.
not strong enough to be in my top 5, but it's still good.
Number 9, I actually do need to get up from my chair real quick because in order to say my number 9 film, I need to stand up and say its name. Shazam!
Oh,
I thought it was
nice.
Yeah, Shazam.
Great.
I loved Shazam, and I think this is DC's best superhero movie.
I agree.
The character is phenomenal. How he plays Shazam, it's
Zachary
probably
Levi, perfect.
it is perfect. It literally is perfect. The villain's really good as well. And the side characters were great. I love the side characters. All the side characters in the movie, none of them felt wasted. All of them had great, equal, memorable lines and story, and they all had a great story with them. Some of the best action DC has done as well. So, with that being said, Shazam is just freaking phenomenal, and
It's a Christmas movie too.
it is a
It
Christmas
is,
movie.
yes.
That's right. It is a Christmas
Did
movie.
you watch it on Christmas?
No.
No, so that's why Shazam is my number 9.
Story time.
Oh boy.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, a
Okay.
man named Cliff Booth and Rick fucking Dalton changed the course of history as we know
Hey,
it.
listen to this. You're a fucking
Dalton, don't you forget about it. I will agree this is probably one of his
Weaker films.
weaker films,
Yeah.
but still, it's still absolutely
Out
phenomenal.
of all the decade, I'd rank him as Once Upon a Time, then Hateful Eight, then Django. If you ask.
Django's number 1
Oh, easily, yes.
by far. The scene at the end is still like
God.
one of the craziest ending sequences
It's insane. Yeah.
I've ever seen in a film. Bruce Lee's scene was great.
Oh, I heard some controversy on that.
I love
I
that
forgot to bring
scene.
I forgot.
Everything about this is great. The cinematography is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The soundtrack,
The soundtrack is great.
the best soundtrack of the year, I think. There's no denying it. Quentin Tarantino is one of the best filmmakers to ever,
Easily.
even though he is weird as fuck. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my number 8 best film of 2019.
All right. Well, for my number 8, I can't. I have to do this a different way. So here we go.
Selfie. Oh, I thought you were gonna play.
Rocket Man's my number 8.
I thought you were gonna play "Hold Me Closer."
I
I
loved Tiny Dancer is my favorite Elton John song, but
I thought it was Tony Danza.
That's what we said.
good God,
I'm
Lucas.
sorry.
I'm gonna say this right now. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. Take notes from Rocket Man. Enough said. Taron Egerton, he deserves an Oscar nomination from this movie. Not only does he look like Elton John, he acts like him, like his performance was amazing, but his singing. Good God, what a beautiful voice that he has. And every single cover that he has, I'm going to sound crazy when I say this, but you know what? I truly believe this. I prefer his covers over Elton John's music.
Oh.
Honest to God. What I love most about Rocket Man, though, is that they take a biopic, but they, include little fancy elements in it while still making it a great musical. What I love about this movie more so is how they take Elton John's catalog and use those songs as a way to make the plot go forward. Like for Rocket Man, for when he almost kills himself and goes right back up, to I Am Still Standing for when he survives drugs and alcohol at the end. It's brilliantly done. Dexter Fletcher, my God, what a hell of a job he did. I will not lie, I can agree with you at this point, Lucas. The first 15 minutes are good, but right when Taron comes in, it picks right up with Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, I feel like. And the soundtrack, once again, man, I mean, This movie had a big hurdle to go through when it came to, especially since Elton John is still alive.
This feels like a Broadway play.
It kind of does,
Broadway
honestly.
show.
But it's a damn good one in all honesty. Please, Taron, please, Oscars, give Taron a nomination. I have a feeling it's not going to happen, but he seriously deserves it. One of the best actors working right now. Cannot wait to see what he does next. Hopefully he comes back in the third Kingsman film. Please, Rocket Man, my number 8.
All right. Lucas will like this.
Oh, God, okay.
But I don't think he'll like The Man That Took His Waifu.
Oh, God, go for it.
Marriage Story.
Oh, I had a feeling this would be in your top 10.
Look. Definitely shows ScarJo's acting abilities far more than ever.
She was terrific in this.
Probably
film.
better than her performance in that. I forgot the name of it already. The Sofia Coppola movie. Her being in the MCU does not justify everything she does when it comes to acting. And since she's now a mommy. By the way, Lucas, you'll have to take care of her kids. Adam Driver probably gonna win best actor for this role. He's been getting so much praise from this movie, better than his Kylo Ren.
I thought he was good, but not great compared to Taron Egerton.
I mean, this was like a comedy drama that only Netflix can make. You cannot put this in the theater. I think they'll give the actor performances. I know the director done some other great Netflix movies as well. So. Booyah.
I just think about ScarJo, so I'm sorry. My number 8 is the end of the third phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh my God. Okay.
The ending.
You almost gave me a damn
It's not the film we all know of. That's later on the list. But anyways, Jesus Christ. Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's one of my favorite actors, and him as Mysterio was a perfect choice. He played one of the best villains in the MCU.
He was great.
This is a really good story because this takes place right after Endgame, and everything that happened after it, it affects Peter Parker. It affects him in a way, and it really gives him a big dilemma in this movie, and it really just makes him see things in a different way. The 2 ending credit sequences.
Oh my God.
The first one, best surprise cameo of the
Everyone
year.
lost their shit when I
Is
saw
that
it.
when Samuel Jackson turned evil?
No.
Oh, then why did I hear that he did?
It is really
it's
damn
not
good. The
turned
fight
evil,
scenes
sorry.
are great as always. And it definitely set things up for, we'll see what happens in Phase 4. I don't think Spider-Man will be back in Phase 4.
No. They said they will. They said they have like another movie deal. They're still trying to work it out.
Right.
So there's
probably
still going to
Phase
be
5.
one.
Yeah, there still is.
He won't be in Phase 4, but will probably be in Phase 5. And that is why it's my number 8.
Oh God, here we go.
Wick on horses! Wick on horses! Wick on horses! John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. This action film was absolutely insane. Especially the first scene when they're in the weapons store.
Yes. Oh, with the knives.
Man.
Jesus.
The knives, the guns, the fact that he's on a freaking horse in New York City. Really kind of strange that they didn't end it here, because I thought it was going to be a
wish they
trilogy.
did.
They're going to do a John Wick 4.
Yeah.
It's coming out the same weekend as Matrix 4 in a couple of years.
Matrix 4 is coming out
There's
the
a
same.
fourth Matrix coming out,
Is
yeah.
he starring in that?
Yes.
So 2 Keanu Reeves movies
Correct.
in
The same
one
weekend, yeah.
Which one am I going to see?
But regardless, guys, this action film is absolutely out of this
It's
world.
epic, to say the least.
The villain, phenomenal action film. One of the best of the decade for sure. That's my number 7.
All right, my number 7, this was a movie that I was originally not going to see it pass under my radar. And then later on in the year, everyone was telling me, you have to see this movie. I did. My number 7 is Parasite. This is a South Korean black comedy thriller. I went in knowing almost nothing, maybe a few plot details, like following a struggling family that's constantly not really making ends meet until one day their son starts to tutor this girl from a very wealthy family, and then the domino effect just starts to go and go and go. Actually, the most unpredictable movie I've seen since Searching. Like, the script is so good. The intensity of this movie, I mean, this is a movie that slowly builds the tension from frame 1, and then right when the third act hits you, it's like, oh my God! Acting is terrific. The directing is amazing from Bong Joon-ho. The cinematography is great, and the production design. I hope this gets nominated for best production design, because what great work they did for contrasting the wealthy from the poor. A really funny and at times suspenseful and actually kind of frightening movie too. Not gonna lie. And the ending had my jaw drop. This is a movie that, even if maybe you don't like foreign films out there, please just give this one the shot. Trust me, this is a hell of a ride, and that's why it's my number 7.
Okay, so we all know what happened when they created the remake of Ocean's 11, where they did Ocean's 8.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This one's different, but this one was done better. Unexpected acting performances from everybody. No one expected this to be good. Actually, it's Hustlers.
Yes.
Great pick.
Cardi B stole the show.
Jennifer Lopez.
Well, she's going to be
J-Lo.
Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, but she was the best part of the entire film.
I love Cardi B though. As a human being, she's a fucking awesome person.
I think Jennifer Lopez was
by the way, she's going to be in Fast and Furious 9.
I heard, yes.
J-Lo actually put on a performance that's Oscar worthy.
Oh,
she's getting into that Best Supporting Actress category. I love the sequences and the fact that it was so much what Ocean's 8 wanted to try to do, but they just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
This one pulled it off. They really narrowed it down, and they really got like very strong personalities to be playing these characters.
Absolutely.
Where Ocean's 8 was just like very robotic and bland. It's like, here, we're doing a movie. I would say if you have not checked out Hustlers, go check it out. And by the way, if you've not seen Cardi B's porn music video, definitely check that out as well.
Oh my god.
Because it's hilarious. Anyway, Hustlers, awesome. Ooh yeah.
Porn?
Yeah, she did a porn music video.
Lucas.
I'm sorry, I was just looking around for something.
Porn?
Sorry. No, not that. No. That. No, what I was actually looking out for is I was just making sure there were no mirrors or any doppelgangers around, because it actually is my number 1 most anticipated from the beginning of the year. It is now my number 7, and that is Us.
Okay.
Okay.
I was making sure there were no doppelganger around because someone could be a doppelganger. You never know. This film was
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele strikes again. Hell yeah, he
What a
struck
great
again.
filmmaker.
Dude, he's been amazing, and I just love this movie from start to finish. How the storyline goes and how it has so many hidden meanings and all the messages in this movie is great. Lupita Nyong'o, excellent.
She deserves an Oscar nomination.
She does deserve an Oscar nomination. Thank you very much.
From what I've been hearing, I think she's a front runner now.
Thank
No,
God.
she
I'm
is the
hoping
front runner.
Good.
Thank God. I'm hoping so, because she definitely deserves it. The whole family was great in this movie. How they had to combat the tethered.
Yes.
That was just wow. The whole storyline of what in the movie as well, of the tethered taking over and no one even expects it, is just incredible. The whole storyline, the whole background of everything was just incredible, and I absolutely loved this movie from start to finish. There's not much more you can do. Oh yeah. They also love to use scissors. They love to use scissors as weapons.
Get those mother effs away. There, that's better.
Yeah, this was just incredible. Go see this movie if you haven't seen it yet. That's why it's my number 7.
All right, my number 6 is one of those movies that is based on a true story.
Okay.
And it's phenomenal, I think. My number 6 is Richard Jewell.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you loved it.
I actually did. I liked it. It's Clint Eastwood. It's based on a true story. It is true that he did get a really bad rep for helping out when he was the guy that found the bomb at Centennial Park. Paul Walter Hauser
I was way off.
was phenomenal in this film. Who was the other one? Kathy Bates. She should win Best Supporting Actress for this.
Wow,
Or be
really?
nominated for it, because her performance as his mother was truly out of this world. 'Cause I saw it once. I was on the fence about it, but then once I did the research and saw the 60-minute clips of him on 60 Minutes, I sort of felt for him.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
And plus, it is Atlanta. We used to live right there.
My hometown.
Yeah, it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. And that's why it's my number 6, Richard Jewell.
My number 6, Alex, you mentioned this earlier, Fighting with My Family.
All right.
Now, this was a movie that when it came out, I was like, is it weird that I'm looking for this more than How to Train Your Dragon 3 out of all movies? Before this movie, I had stopped watching wrestling for years. I was not into it. Yes, it got way too cheesy for me. After I saw this movie, I'm not joking. I was talking nonstop about the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era.
Yeah.
I was listening to the old
That
theme
was
songs
awesome.
like Sky to Hottie. I was talking to our good buddy Jerome, like for hours about about when the WWF was great. The best thing about this movie is not just the fact that Florence Pugh is phenomenal in this page. The best thing about this movie is that you don't have to be a wrestling fan to like this movie. This movie...
That is true, because my friend Bobby, who does not like wrestling at all, loved this film.
It's essentially, it's a Rocky movie, but in wrestling. The family dynamic in this movie was just, oh my god, brilliant. It's heartfelt, and it's also hysterical, too. Like, really, really funny. And by the end, I was crying like a baby by the end of it, because I did not know the story of Paige.
That's real.
Yeah, I did not know about it. Like, because when I saw the final match, I was like, get her, Paige, get her! And right when she pinned her, oh, tears just constantly going down my face. Such a great movie. Man, Fighting with My Family, if you guys have not seen this movie, even if you don't like wrestling, please check this out. It hit all the notches. I've seen the movie 3 times now. Wow. So, yeah. Fighting with My Family, number 6.
We saw this together.
Oh.
Another one we saw together,
yes, okay. There's a pattern coming. When I saw this, I was a little bit disappointed.
Oh.
A little bit, because it wasn't the ending that I was expecting. Or at least the final battle I wasn't expecting. But it's Avengers Endgame.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's not your number. Whoa.
No, it's not.
Really low.
No, yeah,
it's in your top 10, so I'm happy about that.
It didn't get the same feeling that I had, but it was good. I mean, it took a while for it to start picking up a little bit, but when it did, it really picked up. Totally predicted Tony Stark's death.
I honestly didn't.
I predicted it.
Nope. I did not.
Because contracts. I mean, the final fight was everything I was expecting, and the way it ended was beautiful, right on par. Yeah, everyone trying to get through life and everything after the whole goes and. But I knew that they were going to go for "I gone for the head." I was hoping that they would do that, but man, I mean, that was something else. I mean, the way they ended it, and an era is over with.
Yeah.
We are never the MCU will never be
the same.
It will never top Endgame. I mean, they could try with X-Men versus Avengers.
I don't think they will, to be honest.
They can't do it. It's the glory, the golden era of the MCU is over with. It took over the entire decade.
Yep.
All the Avengers movies were in this decade, and it didn't go anywhere else.
It's crazy to think that, right?
Yeah, the entire Avengers quadrilogy. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, quadrilogy.
I mean, you can't get any better than this. Congratulations, guys! You broke the internet.
They really did.
So, congrats.
My number 6 is the best animated film of the year. This film is the ending of one of the best trilogies of all time, How to Train Your Dragon 3. I love this movie. This is without a doubt one of the best ways to end a trilogy. That's not Toy Story 3. Just the story in general is great. There's this dragon hunter that's coming to take over Toothless. He wants to capture Toothless, and he wants to find the last Light Fury and Night Fury. He wants them both. And just how he goes about it and how sadistic this villain is, it works so well, because How to Train Your Dragon 2 was a phenomenal sequel. It was one of the best second movies, and it should have won over Big Hero 6. A perfect way one of the best ways to end a trilogy. Love this story, and it made me cry like a baby at the end. Crying like the baby at the end, seeing these kids riding on Toothless, that made me cry. I'm sorry, that was just a tear-jerking moment, so that's why it's mine. Number 6.
Alrighty guys, we're up to our top 5 movies of the year. You know what these are, the cream of the crop, the best. Alex, start us off.
Well, since you played a song, I'm going to play a song as well.
It's a little bit funny. This feeling inside.
Rocket Man is my number 5.
Nicely done.
Taron Egerton was Elton John.
God, so good.
So much better than Rami Malek.
Oh, God,
in
easily. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I said before, it felt like a Broadway play
It
or
did.
Broadway musical when I was watching it.
Don't give him any ideas.
What's wrong with that? This film as a whole was just absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
The cinematography was great.
Is that the soundtrack right there, I see?
No, that's this is actually his book.
I have
actually
that
his
book.
book.
In the 4K.
Is this a contender for Best Picture?
Unfortunately,
No.
it's a long shot,
Because it didn't have the impact that Bohemian Rhapsody
and it came out way too early.
Did it do good at the box office?
Not, it was good
Just
Bohemian
enough.
Rhapsody.
Just
Not. It made maybe 150
But it
million.
wasn't like the best.
Dang it. It is better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Straight Outta Compton, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, same level.
Straight Outta Compton's just a tad bit.
Okay.
Tad bit better.
Okay.
But regardless, Rocket Man, Taron Egerton, my number 5.
All right, my number 5. This is a movie that I guarantee none of you saw or none of you even heard of. It is an Australian movie called The Nightingale. This is done by the girl who did the Babadook, Jennifer Kent. Jojo Rabbit has the message of, in harsh times there's love, optimism, and kindness. Nightingale took that and I feel like hit even harder with that message. This is a movie that is brutal, it's disturbing, it's unsettling. You might even walk out depressed in certain parts of this movie, but God, the way this movie hit me when I saw this, I cannot deny it, and it's a very hard watch. But by the end, it was one of the most cathartic endings I had seen in a very long time. Everything that Aisling Franciosi goes through, by the way, she is the best performance of the year, without a doubt. And Sam Claflin gives easily the best villainous performance of the year, beating Thanos by a mile.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. But trust me, dude, the moment you see Sam Claflin in this movie, you will want to beat him senseless. There is a specific part in the first 20 minutes, the tension is so high, but then by the end, you're just like, that was great. What a movie this was. I've seen it twice, and I gotta tell you, the second time, I loved it more. I think Jennifer Kent should be nominated for Best Director. I think Aisling Franciosi should be nominated for Best Actress. I think Sam Claflin should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I could go on as to why I love this film. It's brutal, disturbing, yes, but at the same time, it's beautiful at the same time by the end. And you just feel like, again, I'm going to say that word again. It felt cathartic by the end. And for a film like that, the way the end it did, the chef's kiss to it. Nightingale is by number 5.
So, Happy Gilmore. Yeah, hold on. Let me go through his entire Jack and Jill. The Zohan movie. The Stepfather one, I can't remember when that was.
Can't remember it either.
The Netflix one that he did, the 2 Netflix movies. But then the one he did with Ben Stiller, which was the drama that was really good. And then he did Uncut Gems. Look at this. You have to go through shit to get to gold.
He went through so much shit.
He hasn't had this good a film since Punch Drunk Love.
And I haven't seen Punch Drunk Love.
Oh, that's a good Paul Thomas Anderson movie. You know what? If he did dramas for the rest of his life, he would be doing well. It's a race between him and Adam Sandler for Best Actor.
Adam Sandler takes it. I really do.
Well, I know this. One of them. The winner is going to be a guy named Adam.
I never thought he would pull a performance like this. I mean, I know Vince Vaughn's doing dramas now, but not on that same level. I mentioned this to you before. We probably have 2 potential Saturday Night Live members in the Best Actor category. You have Eddie Murphy with the Netflix movie.
Dynamite.
Yep, and then you have Uncut Gems. So think about it. Saturday Night Live is taking over the dramatic Best Actor thing. Definitely go see Adam Sandler doing it. It will make you forget all of his bad movies. Like,
he's unrecognizable in this movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was like, Jack and Jill, what movie is that? That's what I said after I saw this. But anyway, definitely check it out. Do so. Booyah.
My number 5 is something that people already mentioned earlier. Wick on horses! Wick on horses! John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. Pretty much Alex covered a lot of the stuff I wanted to talk about, but I'll go over a few different things that he did not mention. Halle Berry was great in this movie.
Of course.
I really dug Halle Berry, and she was great. The villains were both great. The final scenes of this movie just completely blew me away because I did not expect them to go that route, and now I cannot wait for the sequel. Even though he had replicas, was a shitty part of the year, but then after John Wick Chapter 3, the announcement of John Wick Chapter 4, and Matrix 4, and you're breathtaking. He definitely, and Bill and Ted next year. He's going back up. John Wick, Chapter 3 Parabellum is incredible. Well, Alex said a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I did mention a few things. So with that being said, it's my number 5.
Number 4 for me was my number 2 for the longest time, but 3 and 2 had to bump it out. So my number 4, Joker.
Wow!
That's my number 4.
Hey, we go.
Better than the Avengers.
Oh,
You
I would love for this to win Best Picture.
Well, it's
That would
not
be
winning
huge.
Best Picture, but it's getting nominated.
Yes.
I mean, look, this is a movie which completely captures 2019 in a nutshell.
We live in a society.
Yes. That's it. That's all you need to know. We also have to thank Robert De Niro for playing a talk show host.
That was totally referencing King of Comedy. By the way.
Yes.
Which was great.
We also have to thank Joaquin Phoenix for doing a better Joker performance than Heath Ledger.
I actually agree with
Rest
that.
in peace.
Yes, we have to.
Rest in peace.
And nobody thought it would happen, but I said, look. When I saw the teaser, when it happened,
It looked amazing.
When I saw the teaser and they revealed what he would look like, I said, look, the way that he's smiling just completely overshadows. Yeah.
It's sinister.
Especially at the beginning where he's on the bus with the kid and the laugh.
What a creepy laugh.
Yeah, it totally captures dark charisma to its core. I mean, this is how the Joker got started. I mean, if you want an origin story, there you go. This revolutionized the way that comic book villains are portrayed.
Absolutely.
And I know for a fact they're probably going to be wanting to do more standalone villain movies. Whether it will be successful is another thing, because Joker encapsulated the society as a whole and didn't even focus on the comic book elements, and that they said, screw it, we're doing our own thing.
I agree with everything Joe just said. The score in this film.
My favorite score of the year.
I agree. I agree. Send in the clown.
Oh.
That was a great film. I tell you what.
Alright, my number 4 is a movie that none of you have seen. That's because it technically doesn't come out till next month, and that is 1917.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I found out it was a limited
Yeah,
release.
I got to see it last month at a very early screening. But just let me say this: Sam Mendes better win Best Director. No one could have pulled this off but Sam Mendes, and Roger Deakins with his my god.
Well, that's a definite.
Yes, Roger Deakins shoots this as a one-shot movie. Now, of course, it's presented as a one-shot movie. Yeah, it's a one-shot World War I film.
So it's like Birdman in this sense. But
It's
with war.
the best way I can describe this film is this, and I said this in my review. It's like Dunkirk meets Saving Private Ryan meets The Revenant.
Oh, wow.
This movie really isn't an action movie. It's more of a thriller suspense with some gunfights in between.
Well, yeah, because that's what World War I was.
You're watching these two guys slowly going across this battlefield, because anytime there's a gunshot, you're like, God, go, go, go! And the sound design, by the way, for this film is just, there was one part, everybody in my theater the first time I saw it screamed. Thomas Newman's score is amazing, and there's one particular sequence that takes place at night. I don't know how they pulled it off, but damn, seriously, Sam Mendes for doing this. This is not only a feat in storytelling for how he tells the story of these two soldiers that are trying to save the life of a soldier's brother, but as a technical achievement, there are so many shots. I don't know how they pulled it off. As a one-shot movie, because so if you pay close attention, you could see where they could probably do a cut. 85% of the time, I couldn't tell you where they put a cut in. Like, it's that good of editing. Once it comes out in January, I'm going to see this in IMAX, because this is a movie that deserves to be seen on the biggest screen with the loudest speakers possible, because this is, if you ask me right now, I don't know if it's better than Dunkirk. It could be with another rewatch. It really could. But Sam Mendes deserves Best Director. This deserves Best Cinematography. 1917, I know it doesn't come out for at least another couple of weeks, but once it does come out, or if it's in a local theater near you, please watch this and get ready for one of the most visual experiences you'll ever see, especially from a World War I movie, which they never do these days.
Yeah, really.
But my number 4, 1917, what a phenomenal film.
Listen, I know you mentioned this earlier in the list, but my number 4 is Parasite.
Nice! Okay.
The best foreign film I've seen in such a long time. Bong Joon-ho did a phenomenal job.
Bong Joon-ho?
Bong Joon-ho.
Okay, I know you're wearing the
This film had me hooked from the first minute of the movie. Just seeing these characters going through their life, they're down their lucks, they're trying to make their many means they can, and one of the sons gets a job as a tutor, and slowly but surely, things start to happen that get crazy in this movie, and just seeing how the progression of each thing happens and how well they are, each of the actors pull off what they did. It's incredible. They have to be really smart in order to pull off everything they do, and it's incredible how they pull it off. And just seeing how this movie gets more tense through the minute it goes on. Just the one thing in the area, the one reveal in the
yes, I know what you're talking about. God, that was freaky.
Shit. And even though people were saying, "Oh, I can't get into it," it's not. They don't speak English, dude. They have English subtitles in there, and I understood everything. I understood their expressions. They even acted better than most American actors.
I can agree with that.
Elizabeth Banks. Fuck you. Yeah, but anyway, this movie is incredible, and these actors are just beyond great. I loved every one of these actors. But this movie, what happens at the end?
Oh, that was insane. That was insane.
Holy shit!
That was the part of my
And
jaw
the ending definitely made me cry because I loved how the ending of the story of it as well. That ending was great as well. So, with that being said, Parasite is my number 4.
And to our top 3, you guys, these ones really hit us where we live. So,
Absolutely.
number 3, Alex?
Eat shit. Eat shit. Definitely eat shit.
What?
Knives Out is my number 3.
Yeah, that's all I remember. Knives Out.
Who done it?
Yes.
This is Clue the movie.
Really, it deserves the best original screenplay nomination.
But yeah, I agree. It deserves it. Daniel Craig is really great in this.
What?
You left.
I just like the fact that Daniel Craig was good in it.
Yeah, he was great.
It was great, yeah.
Ana de Armas, just absolutely phenomenal.
So good, yeah.
You actually kind of feel for all of these characters.
Yeah.
Especially, you just feel for all the characters.
And they're given their time of the spotlight, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and everybody has their own little, like, why that he might have killed the guy.
Okay, so it's like almost Murder on the Orient Express, except it doesn't take place on a train.
And it's better than Murder on the
And
Express.
so much better. And it's not boring at all. It kept my attention throughout the entire film, 100%. It's not boring. It's absolutely great. My number 3 favorite film of the year, Knives Out.
Number 3, there is one word to use to describe this. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. Dr. Sleep is my number 3, the sequel to The Shining.
Wait, there was a sequel to The Shining?
Where have you been? Mike Flanagan, I ask guys say this. He is, by none, the best director working in the horror genre. Mike Flanagan not only has a strong grasp on what makes a great story with great characters, but he has a strong grasp on scares and what is truly terrifying. I look at this movie the way I look at Blade Runner 2049, where this movie, a sequel to The Shining should have been left alone. It really should have been, because The Shining is about as perfect as it possibly could have been, like Blade Runner. Here's the thing, unlike Blade Runner 2049, I think 2049 is a better film than the original Blade Runner. I don't think this film is better than The Shining, but then again, when you're making a sequel to arguably the greatest horror film of all time, you have so much to live up to, and for what Mike Flanagan did in this movie, he did a near perfect job. Rebecca Ferguson is phenomenal as Rose the Hat, one of the best horror villains I've seen in a long time. Kylie Kieran gives a great child performance as well. And this movie doesn't go jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. It's not a jump scare fest. It's rather more of a psychological burn than anything else. There's still a couple of scares in this movie that still haunt me to this day, to say the least. I saw this twice in IMAX, by the way, and it was amazing in IMAX, to say the least. It's scary, it's drama-filled, it's heartfelt, and even though it's 2.5 hours, this movie went by quickly. Such a phenomenal film, and I will say this once again about Mike Flanagan. He makes constantly great movies that no one sees, and it really aggravates me because he truly is, to me, the best director in the horror genre today. Dr. Sleep, well done, Flanagan. I hope you continue making horror films. Number 3.
So, I don't know which one is better, this movie or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Because these are both foreign movies that got really big success. It's Parasite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I said, these are 2 foreign movies that did extraordinarily well. And you guys already covered this, so I'm not going to say much about it. But definitely one of the only Korean movies, I think, that has ever been recognized as being like a top-tier movie.
It's a phenomenal film, to say the least.
And unfortunately, the Oscars are not going to recognize this for its Best Picture win. They do not like foreign movies. I mean,
will it win Best Foreign Film?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it'll get that. If it doesn't, that will be like,
I'm gonna.
yeah, that will be something.
Lose your shit.
But Hong might win Best Director, but he may not necessarily get his win for
Sam
the
Mendes
movie.
deserves Best Director.
But that's all I'm going to say on it.
Number 3 is a film you guys have already mentioned, and I'm just going to go quickly over this. Number 3 is Uncut Gems.
Okay. So it's
I
all
love
our top
this
10s.
movie. Even though Adam Sandler have not been a fan of some of his films in the past, this movie convinced me he can do great work, and I think he's my front runner for best actor right now. He is absolutely phenomenal. When I saw this, at the end, I was like, holy shit, because I was telling my parents I was watching it, and then I'm just like, holy shit, you guys need to see this film. And they believe me. So when they get the chance, they'll see it. But yeah, this film, you guys pretty much talked most of it already, so I'm just going to keep it brief. Go see this film if you haven't seen it. Adam Sandler deserves to win Best Actor. I think he'll definitely be a frontrunner along with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, easily.
And
Adam
Adam Driver. I want ScarJo, damn it. That's my number 3.
When's the last time you saw Adam Sandler in a good film?
Oh, man!
Is that your number 2?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Uncut Gems. I really don't need to explain
That's all you
anything,
Once again.
but I will say Kevin Garnett
Hell yeah.
in this film
great.
was great. Kevin Garnett, and the scene at the end with the basketball game.
Dude, oh, that was suspenseful as all hell.
Ah, what a film.
Yes.
What a trip this
Anxiety
was.
filled.
It was
It's
amazing.
just
What
oh.
a trip. And then, oh man. Oh, I don't want to spoil anything.
No.
Black Jew Power.
Apparently that was improvised.
That was great.
That was improvised.
That was a phenomenal movie. That's my number 2. Uncut Gems.
Number 2, I have to do one thing.
That's my number 2 as well.
Joker.
Yes, it's our number 2.
Joker.
Yeah.
This is the second best comic film of the year, if you ask me personally, behind
Same.
one particular movie.
Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit.
But man, this movie, Lucas, this damn movie.
Holy shit.
Yep. What a performance by Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix stole the show for me. He was my front runner to win Best Actor until Adam Sandler, but he still played a fucking great Joker.
Not just crazy, but a creepy Joker.
Dude, it
Creepy
was.
creepy as all. The moment that he has the makeup on, the first time I saw that when I heard Rock and Roll, Glitter's Rock and Roll, I got chills seeing that image.
Same here, the
first
bathroom
time.
dance scene.
Oh, that score that plays during that scene. That every time I hear that score, I think of the Killing Joke image where the comic where it's like ha ha ha. I think of that image every time I hear that music. By the way, that's the best score of the year if you ask me. Although people were saying it's gonna cause violence, did it?
No.
Did it? Shut up.
Stupid moron.
Is it hard to watch? It's because it feels so raw. It feels
suspenseful.
It's unsettling. Todd Phillips just puts us in all these situations that it's just you're so uncomfortable watching them, and then by the end you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's how I was too.
I want Joaquin Phoenix to win Best Actor, either him or Adam Sandler. God damn, what a...
Adam Driver for stealing ScarJo.
This is congratulations to grossing $1 billion, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations. What a phenomenal film. My favorite villain of all time, the Joker, was portrayed beautifully by Joaquin Phoenix. That's all I gotta say about this. Well done.
That's why it's our number 2.
We saw this movie together.
Another one?
Yes, another one. All 3 of us, actually.
Is it Long Shot?
Yes.
Oh, wow!
Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, you know how I reacted to this
you
movie. I was
loved
like
it.
going crazy over it. I loved it.
I love this. I look like Captain Crunch's fucking grind.
I just loved all the Fox News jokes.
Oh,
Those
same
were
here.
hilarious. So I was like, no, they made that joke.
They went there.
They went there.
A
They
great
were taking
movie.
so many. They were taking so many shots. I loved it. The video that they found of the guy in the. It was like the perfect odd couple, like right there. That was something else.
I agree.
That's from beginning to end, I was just laughing hysterically, and I'm like, I told you, I said this was better than Avengers Endgame. Like I had more fun with that than Avengers Endgame. I remember telling you that in the theater, and you were still back then. You were like, "What the?"
I
fuck?
don't remember that.
Of course
at
you
all.
don't. It's a great comedy. It's a great romance comedy.
And it's a great political comedy too.
And political commentary
Yes.
too. Fox News jokes up the ass. Yeah, I'm part of the GOP. Yeah, you know me. I was like, that's the best line in this movie.
yes, he is such a great comedic actor. He really is.
I was like, I couldn't get enough of it.
Alrighty, guys, we are here. We are finally at the point where we talk about our favorite movie of 2019. Now, since Joe mentioned one particular film, I'm pretty sure that Lucas, and Alex, I pointed you at Lucas, and then you get my point. I'm pretty sure at the same number 3. So I one, 2, 3. Avengers Endgame.
I love you 3000.
When it comes to my number 1 film of any year, I always judge it on 3 different qualities. 1, the most exhilaration it gave me in theaters. 2, the amount of emotional impact it had on me, and 3, the rewatch value.
True.
But my number 1 does all of that
And then
times even more so. An Endgame.
times 3,000.
And Endgame, no other film came close to topping Endgame for me.
Yep.
No one did. It's just
Joker was close for me.
I'm not gonna. Joker was close. It really was. But just Endgame took the rewatch value, the entertainment value, and the impact. People have described Infinity War as the Empire Strikes Back of the MCU. I describe Endgame as the Return of the King of the MCU.
Yes.
And I have not felt this way about a movie since Return of the King, which all of you know is my favorite movie of all time.
The action scenes in this film
Some of the best in the MCU.
don't really need to explain.
Yeah, you really don't.
How they got back from the
The snap, or as they say, the
Blip.
the blip.
blip.
Yeah, as they say in
The
Spider-Man:
blip.
Far From Home. Yeah.
the final battle.
Hey, Cap, it's Sam. On your left. I remember the first time I saw that at the press
Yes.
screening, everybody, every critic in there lost their fucking minds.
Lucas and I saw this together.
Yes, we did.
Nice. Joe and I saw this together.
Yeah.
Draft
It would have been a good
That's
double.
right.
date.
On draft day.
day. On draft day.
Mhm.
On draft day.
Oh, Lucas, I'll let you go before I talk
Go ahead.
anything else.
I knew it. I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say it back then. I wanted him to get this moment in.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
It's okay. She's still engaged. She's not married yet.
Don't leave too much on the table, Lucas.
And we got Black Widow, so you'll.
Yeah, you got Black Widow.
I know, but still, though.
It's just-
ScarJo.
I won't lie, that scene had me in tears, dude, as
You
well.
Robert Downey Jr., this is one of his best
Oh,
performances ever.
easily.
Won't
And
get nominated.
unfortunately, it'll be a shame
Yeah.
that he doesn't get nominated because
I
they
really
were
wanted to
trying
get
to push for it,
nominated.
but they realized, unfortunately, it wouldn't be viable.
No, Robert Downey didn't want it to happen. He said, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
Why?
Like, I don't know, but he just said
Why?
He doesn't need it.
he doesn't. He's one of the biggest stars ever. Like, you think he needs an
Yeah,
Oscar
who
to prove
needs it?
himself?
The ending. I
Man,
am Iron Man.
Inevitable.
I am inevitable. I am iron. I am.
That freaking snap was incredible. I've watched that snap so many times.
I've watched this movie at least 5 times.
I unfortunately haven't had that.
4 in the
luxury.
theater. I saw this 4 in the theater.
By the way, I just want to mention this. Somebody's gonna take the final fight scene from Avengers Endgame, but replace them all with Super Smash Brothers characters.
I want to see
And it's
this.
gonna be on YouTube. They're working on it right now.
I wanna
but,
see
Yeah,
it.
it's gonna
Same.
be Taboo versus Mario, Link, and Kirby, and all the other Smash.
Kirby!
Of
Kirby!
course, Kirby. Okay.
Avengers Endgame. I want to talk more about how phenomenal some of the
ScarJo was.
Stop it! Hawkeye was
Yes,
freaking
Hawkeye.
amazing in
That
this movie.
opening scene with him.
Them
was
opening scene with
heartbreaking.
Hawkeye. God, that was great.
I remember both times I saw it, like everyone was like, every time I saw it. Even the third time I saw it,
Yeah,
people were like,
Hawkeye's great
Mhm.
in this movie, and just the acting in general from everybody.
absolutely. This movie, I did not think we would ever get a movie like this in our lifetime. Never did.
I never think so.
I did because I saw. I thought Captain America: Civil War was on the same par.
Correct. Yeah.
However, this tops it.
Oh,
It tops it
th-
easily.
This takes up like at least 20 notches. It's insane. Like the Russo brothers, they
know their
cannot-
shit.
How it ties really everything up in this perfect bow. And honest to God, if the MCU ended with this movie, I wouldn't mind it.
Exactly,
I
but
wouldn't mind it.
unfortunately, they're going to continue on, and I don't think they can really even top Avengers Endgame.
Neither do I.
Well,
Not even with Galactus, they can't top
Nope.
it. I'm sorry,
No.
not even with Galactus.
No.
Well, X-Men. They're gonna have a fight
We
with the
will,
Avengers.
we will see, but honestly, Endgame was just not just such a achievement of a movie, but it was the. I don't even think Avatar 2 is gonna top us as an event.
No
film.
way.
I don't
No
think
way.
it. I don't think it will. I mean, this movie is an achievement in not only filmmaking, but for blockbuster filmmaking, for superhero
Box
filmmaking.
office.
But
Box
yes,
office.
it beat every box office record possible, and thank God it did. Seriously, but this movie is just an achievement on every level, from directing, screenplay, how it, the balancing act,
Cinematography.
yeah, everything. Everybody, if you ask me, this movie was a masterpiece. It was
is.
just, I loved everything about this movie, and the rewatch value. I saw this movie 4 times in theaters, and I had not done that since The Force Awakens.
Wow.
I love this movie. I saw this movie on a first date, which we won't go into.
That's all I got.
Same here. Even though ScarJo.
Oh
God
my
damn it.
god! It is our number 1 favorite film of the year. It'll probably be my best of the decade. We'll see about that. But yeah, it is
love
our
you
number 1.
3000.
I love you 3000. I love you 3000. I love you 3000.
Thank you. I love you all 3,000.
Yeah,
But I love Scorpion 6,000.
oh, for God's sakes. All right. We've gone over our number 1, Joe.
I'm glad I'm the lone survivor on this.
Yeah,
one.
no kidding. All right,
Because
what's number 1?
my Avengers movie is better than your Avengers movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because my Avengers movie has been going on since the 70s. This has been a long line coming. I mean, it's... God damn. The Irishman. I'll just say it right now.
It's a great fucking
Joe
movie.
Pesci is back.
I know.
Bitches.
Joe fucking Pesci. By the way, best supporting actor nomination
He's gonna
for
get it.
this.
He's gonna get
Fucking A. I want him to beat bad
Do you think
Brad
Al
Pitt.
Pacino's gonna get nominated too?
Yes,
No.
but he didn't do as good a job as Joe
Oh,
Pesci
I
did.
agree. Joe Pesci was so...
Jesus, I've been wanting to see De Niro, Pacino, and Pesci in the same movie since the 90s.
And you got it with Scorsese
And,
directing it.
But that's who I wanted to direct these 3 guys. But look, I watched The Godfather when I was 3. I saw Goodfellas when I was... Yeah, I saw Goodfellas when I was 5. I saw Casino when I was 8.
Damn!
This is like the Avengers for gangster movies, which I'm a huge fan of. I grew up on these. So I was really excited when I saw when they were like, okay, we're going to take these 3 guys, we're going to turn them younger, which I was like, no way. There is no way he's going to get...
For the most part, like, it's amazing. There were some parts like...
I said there is no way they are going to get these visual effects to make them look younger. There's no way you're going to take Pacino and make him look like he's in his 60s. But they did! 3.5 hour movie, which didn't even feel like 3.5 hours. This was something where the story was compelling from beginning to end. I sat there the Thanksgiving Eve night and watched this. Oh my goodness. It was like so well acted.
For 3.5 hours, it flew.
Yeah. But Chino said this was like doing a movie in the 70s. I love the exchange in Miami. It's like, I've never been late more than 10 minutes in my life. I was like, I say 15. No, 10. I don't think so. I'm taking traffic into
That's
account.
right,
That's
yeah.
right. How about 12 and a half minutes? There you go, right down the middle. It's beautiful. Oh my God. It's just like the last 15 minutes where he feels sorrow for all of the crimes that he committed.
God, I was not expecting for it to
And
end
the
way it
fact
did.
that he was the last man alive and he has to live with that, knowing full well what he did. Oh man, it's like one of those stories where he's like, do you feel good for the things that you've done in your past and you will live to regret them, or do you feel like, okay, I mean, it didn't go well for him. That's a fact right there. But oh my God, it's a great Italian American moment for me. And I am happy that this was made, and I'm glad that Pesci came back one last time to show how great he is as a supporting actor.
Absolutely.
My cousin Vinny will live on forever.
Yep.
So, booyah.
Alrighty, guys, and that is going to do it for not only our top 10 worst films, but now for our top 10 favorite movies of 2019. Can you guys believe that's the end of the year, but just the end of the decade as well?
It's incredible. To say
It's
the least,
amazing.
How far we've grown.
I feel like it was just yesterday, but we were talking about Straight Outta Compton.
Right? Yeah. It's
remember,
crazy.
I remember. It feels like yesterday we were talking about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
I feel like it was crazy that we were just talking about films like Avengers Infinity War, La La Land, or
Endgame.
or-
Oh wait, we just were.
yeah, Boyhood. We were just talking about that off camera, or Blade Runner 2049. It's been insane. You be
Mad
quiet.
Max Fury Road.
Mad Max Fury Road,
Ah.
yeah. I'd like to thank the crew once again for joining us. But don't worry, guys. I know the guys have been asking, are we doing a best and worst of the decade? And that answer is yes. Look out for the summertime in June and July. Those lists will be coming out then. But until then, thank you guys so much once again for joining us as we shared our best and worst movies of the year. If you guys want to share your best and worst, in this case best, please comment down below. Leave a couple of honorable mentions as well. Please like this video, hit that notification bell forever to see my first video of 2020, the first video of the new decade.
Which will be.
Don't know.
Okay.
We will see. Probably The Grudge. Once again, thank you so much for watching me all decade. I really appreciate it, guys. I love you all to death. But until the next video of the new decade, we'll see you guys next time. Have a happy new year. We'll see you guys in 2020. See you guys later.